what's very interesting is that the district told me they basically just went back to the basics and really broke down what was causing those poor ratings. So what they did is they went back to reteach a lot of those teachers to gain some more reading capabilities to teach in not only Heritage Elementary, but also the rest of the Southside Independent School District.
F is such a harsh letter when it comes to grading.
Heritage Elementary's principal, Elise Puente, says they were hurt when the school received an F rating. The ratings are based off of STAR testing.
Reading on grade level, they're able to be successful in all content areas. So really focusing on improving our reading impacts all academics.
With help from a reading specialist, Southside Independent School District is implementing new reading strategies across all of the 8 campuses, starting with reteaching teachers so they can help their students better.
The last few years, they've really pushed us on incorporating it more across other subjects.
4th grade teacher Samantha Collier has been teaching for 10 years. Her students are currently learning about Stephen F. Austin and breaking down reading strategies to understand the lesson better.
Having to identify the text structure, author's purpose, the genre, using those reading strategies to answer the questions, justifying their answers by finding that text evidence and writing incomplete sentences.
Whether it is science, math, or social studies, Southside ISD's goal is to get an A rating for the district, hoping the love of reading will get them there.
In most states, school finances works kind of like a three-legged stool. Schools get steady support by the state income tax, a property tax, and a sales tax. Well, Texas school finance doesn't work that way. Texas doesn't have a state income tax, so public schools need to lean more on other sources.
Without an income tax, all we have for funding our schools is a property tax and a sales tax. And so we don't have a lot of options for raising revenue, how our revenue system is built right now.
Republican lawmakers want to make good on a campaign promise of property tax relief, and one proposal calls for ending the school property tax altogether and making up the difference by raising the sales tax to 12%. School advocates worry the revenue generated won't be enough, and it'll be more sensitive to the ups and downs of the economy.
And if we go into a recession, we will see a huge plummeting in the collection of sales taxes, and that could lead to cuts to schools in the future.
Also, in the name of financial stability, many schools would like to do away with the current system that varies school funding based on daily attendance.
And obviously, we want districts to work really hard to have students show up. But it does have this effect of, in practice, providing far less funding to schools that have higher concentrations of need.
They note students who are poor and have fewer resources at home have higher incidence of asthma. It could have to do with air quality in the neighborhood or the age of their home.
All sorts of things that have nothing to do with the education system. But certainly, if you're asthmatic in elementary school, there are lots of reasons why you may not be able to make it to school every day.
It is a trauma center. Many civilians are rushed there for emergencies and end up with tens of thousands of dollars in charges. From then on, the federal government takes money from their paychecks, Social Security, and tax refunds.
I have 2 9-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Jose Martinez has had his tax refunds garnished since 2009, when he was taken to BAMC after being shot in the face. He was left with a bullet in his neck and more than $160,000 in medical debt.
So I'm living check by check, and that tax refund could actually put a little cushion in my bank accounts, or I could be okay.
Martinez, a manager at Walmart supporting a family of 6, wasn't informed of the debt until years later. We've helped numerous families with similar stories. As a military hospital, BAMC is not in network with many insurance companies and won't negotiate with them. Patients often don't know about unpaid charges until the Treasury Department begins garnishing their checks. Congressman Joaquin Castro has authored a bill, sponsored by Elizabeth Warren in the Senate, that would prevent military hospitals from surprise billing and would erase prior debt.
It would be a lifesaver financially for a lot of individuals and families who've been burdened with debt that they just can't pay off.
Castro says BAMC shouldn't have to charge civilian patients because, unlike private hospitals, it's a training facility.
Yes, they're getting care, but they're also doing a favor to the United States government because you literally are being worked on by people who are in training and need that training to take care of our service members.
When we contacted BAMC about the legislation today, it sent a statement reading in part, "Until the formal process of updating current regulations and policies is complete, military treatment facilities, that is BAMC, are not authorized to waive fees and must follow existing regulations and policies."